up and ready to go. It is weekly Wednesday Magic stream. We're going to be playing midweek Magic as always, getting our brain juices flowing by trying to complete whatever challenge it is, and also working towards the achievement for this midweek Magic standard Cascade. All right. First time you cast a spell each turn, you cast another less expensive card from your library without paying. Okay, so every spell you cast each turn, you cascade. Intriguing. I'm sure this is absolutely broken. Oh no. That's not good. Well, the classic of I have to delete something. Right. Get rid of Rakdos Sacrifice. We have it on Mox Field. We can always come back to it. And of course, I'm probably going to resort to playing green because I just deleted a deck. How? Did they give us more decks and now I'm like over 100? 108? What? Okay, well, I wish I could pause, but there is no pausing. This is live. Oh no. Alright, well, what was this deck? What bad idea did I have here? Oh, this was Dinos. Okay, we can get rid of that. I put that together, play tested it like once, and then didn't play it again. But get rid of that. Raise the Pass combo. I'm assuming this is the Raise the Pass deck I played, so that's also on Mox Field. We'll go ahead. If you want to see this deck, you know, go to the video, search up I played Raise the Pass to Mythic. Jun Chandra, I think that was a video that we did, so we can delete that. This was Boros Monument. I guess we can get rid of that because I think we have that also recorded. It's nice actually having all your decks in like Mox Field and stuff, is that I don't feel too bad about getting rid of things, because I can always get back to them. All right. This is where it gets more challenging. We'll get rid of the deck that I haven't played. Get rid of... We'll probably revisit Gruul Toxic eventually. Teamer lands. I don't think I really need that. Oh my goodness. Best of 3 elves. I guess this deck is saved as well. And... we're at 100, so we have to go down one more. We'll get rid of the green Stompy deck, because we can always make a new one. Or what was... did I make a video on this? I think I made a video on this. Did I not? Oh boy. This is... I have too many decks. There's like decks where I started working on them, and then I kind of gave up. For instance... I started to make an Urborg Scavengers list a while ago, and then I gave up. It was supposed to be Urborg Scavengers with some Reanimator or just big creatures that you care about getting the keywords, but this is the authentic Magic the Gathering brewing experience. Struggling to keep a coherent thought. I actually remade this Selesnya Hydra deck, so I can get rid of this. Alright. We have enough decks removed, I think. Alright. Start on our event deck. The first challenge of every midweek Magic for me is, do I have enough slots to make a new deck? It doesn't help that Wizards gave us like 9 decks the other day or something with the new player deck, so... Alright. Can we do something in mono green? I'm assuming cascading into elves is pretty good because every spell just becomes ramp. So what else could we play? Paw Patch Recruit is another good card. Mana Dorks are pretty good because you cascade into them and then you just get more mana so you can cascade from like even higher mana values the following turn. I search add. That should help us find some mana dorks. What do we got? Tender Wild Guide I think is actually quite good, but Thorn Vault Forager is an interesting option. We could just play elves. What do we have for elf? Can we just play elves, but they cascade, so it's even more elves? I didn't consider that, but that actually sounds hilarious. Just cast a big elf, and then get more elves. I like this. I don't know if any of you have started looking at the previews for Tarkir, but let's just say green elves. There will be a card that will be played in green elves in standard, so that is very exciting. Tyvar is really good, and then we want expensive cards if we can. I mean, we could just mono green elves it. That actually sounds pretty good. Where is the other elf lord? Imperious Perfect. And then, yeah, we can cut 2 lands, and then we just need to find probably Cavern of Souls. Well, actually, I don't think anyone's going to be playing Counter Souls, but might as well play a few Caverns and then Tree. So 3 Tree. Oh, Genesis Wave. I can't believe I forgot about Genesis Wave. Alright, we can cut. Yeah, maybe we cut all the Dwinian. And then go down 2 lands down to 22. That's probably fine. I guess I could cut one of these to get Dwinian. Alright. Mono green elves, but they cascade. Surely this will be good. Oh wait, I could have... We were actually fine. I had completely useless elf in the deck. Well, not useless, but probably need some more 1-drops. Because... actually, no. Not that important. Probably don't want too many of legendaries if in case we cascade into them. What else can we play? Wildborn Preserver. Boom. Now we can cascade maybe on the opponent's turn. I don't know if that's how it works, but that is enough of that. Let's get into playing. I do think there's definitely something busted you can do. I guess, you know, I feel like any deck that has like cheap creatures or like one really broken 1-drops become really good because you're always going to cascade into them consistently with your 2-drops. So when I cast this Leaf Crown Visionary, I'm getting a 1-drop elf. So that just seems like we're going to be getting a lot of value. Oh no. Opponent is going to mill us. That's scary. Maybe I should ramp. Alright, we got flood the board with even more elves. This is gonna such a silly momentum breaker. Our opponent though playing fun patrol. Alright. Get a free stalwart, and then on their turn we can cast Wildborn Preserver, I believe. Does this say your turn? Yeah, the first spell you cast each turn has Cascade. That's crazy. Wait, instant speed is actually kind of broken. We just get all of the elves. We found a way to break elves in standard. Just every elf is a free elf. A free Llanowar elves. Fear of isolation, probably getting back to nowhere to run. Yep. Fear of isolation enters, they mill us, they draw. Down to 41, so they are making progress. Then we're down to 38 cards in library. Start a land, and then we'll Genesis Wave for a bunch of mana, and that will hopefully yield a bunch more cards. Can you stop? Oh my goodness. This is brutal. Alright, we will cast this for 3. The old 6 mana Cascade in your elf deck. I don't think this is very good, but we'll find out. Have nothing to do. Put a bunch of cards on the battlefield. I'll decline. Oops. A0. And then I'll just play out another elf. Be groovy with it. What are you gonna do, opponent? They're all on board. Can't make me discard now. It is kind of funny though. Cascade, I feel like there's not that much different to the standard decks with this Cascade. There's no way you're playing a sweeper if you're playing entity tracker and momentum breaker. That's so lame. It's just not really gonna win when the opponent has 5 cards in hand, and I just can't believe they're playing a sweeper in a deck that has nowhere to run, momentum breaker, ways to bounce them. But I guess it makes sense in this particular event. You can expect people to flood the board pretty easily. I just didn't think that, I didn't expect the metagame. Guess that's my bad. Opponent has Vivian Avatar. Are they cool? Are they playing mono green? Are we gonna play against Demir Mill Sacrifice Discard, whatever you want to call it? Okay, Forest. Opponent is beginning to believe. Oh, they got the better elf. That's not fair. Fabled Passage? Why are you playing Fabled Passage? I will play the Llanowar Loam Speaker so we can have more mana next turn. Get a Llanowar Elves with our spell. Every card we play ramps us. Kind of funny. Here, trade, opponent. This Wildborn Preserver is going to be really good. So we saw that it actually works. If we cast it on the opponent's turn, we get the Cascade. Cast Winnings, Leap. Herod Archway is interesting. Opponent might just be a landfall deck. It's not what I was expecting. Opponent, you're gonna love this. Cascading off a Seed of Hope. I wish there's... Are there any 0 drops in Standard? There probably is at least one. Hold on, I have Scryfall open for this reason. Oh, I see what you're doing now. Alright. Non-land 0 drops. Oh, Market Back Market Back Walker is the only card that's a 0 drop in Standard. Cascade, let's go. Wildborn Preserver, so we can cascade on both turns. The opponent's turn and our turn. We're running out of 1-drop elves though. Check this out, opponent. My elf lord cascades into a 1-drop elf. Not quite what I was hoping for. Ooh, I could pay a bunch of mana. Sure. I'll pay like 2, 3. We'll pay 2. Like to tap this and that. And then this. And maybe this. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh. It's kind of annoying how many triggers Wildborn Preserver generates, but guess I shouldn't have attacked with the Loam Speaker because realistically they can just block and they're gonna bounce, but it's fine. Wonder if the opponent has built their deck so that they consistently get Mossborn Hydra. If they double block, there's no creatures in the graveyard. I will hold on to the perfect for next turn so that I can get another cascade just in case I top deck a land. Archway, bouncing a land, getting them a green. Opponent, the Arid Archway Believer. Mill, self-mill. Molt Tender. Alright. Oh. Say his name again. Opponent has to cast one more and then they get a free 9/9. That'd be kind of spooky, but I think we are okay. Alright, I almost casted the Sentinel Stalwart first, but that would have been bad. Thanks, opponent. Is very cool. And then I will just attack. Should probably be lethal. Yes. I can't believe we hit all of our Llanowar elves though. We kind of ended up getting a bit unlucky with some of our cascade. Huh? Why was that a draw? Does anybody have any idea? Okay, it wasn't a draw. I guess that's a bug. We made it towards mastering green. Let's go. The mighty. Alright, fighting. Sorry, I wanna get through some of those color mastery achievements. What did we get? Fabled Passage. Okay, I'll take it. I do like the Bloomburrow art for Fabled Passage. We have to win 2 more and then we can go on to brewing something for standard. This hand looks awesome. Llanowar Elves into Archdruid into craziness. Surely this goes crazy. Oh, and it puts back a card, an island. Island, you say? Elves, cascades into nothing. Nice thing is, even if you get counterspelled, you, the opponent gets to see our entire deck because of the 1-drop cascade. I'm surprised the opponent didn't have a 1-drop. Name elf so they can't counter my spell. Cast an elf. And cascade into another elf. My elfening will begin. Oh, we got a lord. Oh, opponent's on a flash deck. Makes sense. You're gonna unsummon my Archdruid. Guess what, opponent? I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna get another creature. It's just gonna keep on happening. Problem is, they don't really get any value unless they cast a 2-drop. You don't get any value off of the cascade unless you cast a 2-drop. Okay, the opponent has figured out the answer to flooding the board, and it is bouncing absolutely everything. No! Oh! We can be friends, opponent. Here, I'll play an elf. Alright, take 2. We can play. Oh my goodness. If they keep unsummoning all of our creatures, this is going to become problematic. Very problematic. I need to get to the point where I can cast multiple Archdruids a turn so that they can't bounce both of them. Then I can start flooding the board. 4 mana open, so they could cast a 2-drop on their turn, get a 1-drop, and then cast a 2-drop on my turn and get a 1-drop as well off of the cascades. Opponent in the tank thinking. Alright. Check out this, opponent. I will cast Archdruid. I don't think I need to draw at this particular moment, because I got a lot of elves in hand and not many lands. Cascades into Spectral Sailor. Alright, you Leaf Crown Visionary. We're not gonna pay for any of these, I don't think, because we got, as I said, a lot of cards in hand. Fine. I will play a 1-drop. And then, no, don't need to. Then we'll go ahead, tap for 6 green. Tap this, tap, I guess this. Yeah. And then play Dwinian, make everything even bigger. Give ourselves a reach blocker. Oh my goodness. Whoops. Oh, I hit a land drop. It's fine. Play out another elf. If the opponent has mass bounce, I'm going to be so sad. Opponent, do you have a 2-drop? Technically, it's ideal for them to block here and trade, so I'll just wait a turn. Opponent cast Spectral Sailor, buffing their Cutthroats, but not big enough to get around Dwinian. We can start drawing almost infinite cards. Oh, Asinine Antics doesn't actually do anything against us because all our creatures are getting pumped up anyways. They counter Asinine Antics when they're fear. Oh my goodness. And they're gonna manifest. Okay, I see how it is done. Opponent has found the tech. If you cast Fear of Imposters, you're gonna counter your cascaded card. So they get another 2/2, I guess. I don't know. That was hilarious. That was good fun. Yeah, I guess elves, when you tack on a free 1-drop for all of your 2-drops and above, are pretty crazy. One more win. Can we do it in the first go? Today I was thinking about brewing lizards. Hey buddy, I'm pretty busy today, but I hope you have some good games. Looking forward to your next vid. Cheers. Thanks, man. Thank you, Turd Gobbler. Always appreciate your comments. Yeah, I'm gotta work on some decks here because I've been somewhat busy, and so I haven't gotten to come up with a ton. I have some ideas written down and some decks sort of put together, but it's a whole nother thing to have an idea for a deck and then have that deck play reasonably well. Yesterday I almost went to record a video, but the deck that I was playing was not particularly good. Or I went into mono red 3 times in a row, and that's just always going to be kind of rough. I will cast Elvish Archdruid. Opponent thinks they can Selesnya cage me. I'll try to elves. Have you all... Oh, no. Opponent decided that 4 elves turn 2 was enough. Alright. We can go into Brewing for Standard then. Speaking of which, I need to... Alright, let's check on the orbs. Status on the orbs. 3 orbs. Okay, quite a bit. I feel like I don't think I've ever completed an entire battle pass down to like the very last one, like 90 or whatever it is. I think it changes per set, but we will try and do it this set, but actually I don't know. 19 days left. Not much time left. Daily deals, important to note, you get a pack at a discount. So I think I have most of Thunder Junction. The only thing I've been, or like, Thunder Junction is problematic because of the big score like subset. So I don't really have those cards. All right, this was the deck that I was trying to play yesterday. I got a comment suggesting trying out Monument to Endurance with like mono black double discard type effect. So Liliana obviously being a great card, or like a highly synergistic card with Monument to Endurance. And so I put together this deck this past weekend, I think it was. And the idea is that you have Tiny Bones joins up, Liliana of the Veil, and Collector's Vault as way. Well, actually, you also have Harvester of Misery. Bitter Triumph has other ways to discard. So Tiny Bones joins up actually says any number of target players each discard a card, so you can target yourself. And normally you wouldn't want to do that, but if you have a monument, you can go ahead and get a monument trigger And one of those triggers is draw a card. So you kind of make up for the card that you would discard potentially. So it can be 1 mana, make the opponent discard a card, and you cycle a card, which sounds pretty decent. Also, it's an enchantment that sticks onto the battlefield, so that later you can go ahead and use it to bargain your Beseech the Mirror to go ahead and find your Monument to Endurance, which is pretty cool. Collector's Vault is just a good way to consistently draw a discard. So triggering your monument each turn. Liliana, +1 is each player discards a card, and then yeah, you can make the opponent sacrifice creatures, and if you get to ultimate, it's pretty good. Notably, I think Liliana's ultimate it's pretty good, don't get me wrong, but I've actually won like more games than you'd expect after having someone -6 Lilia on me, or Liliana on me, so I'm not entirely convinced that it is perfect, but Harvester of Misery you can pay to discard it and give target creature -2/-2, and then Bitter Triumph, one of the things that you can do is discard a card with it. So those are all the things that help us trigger Monument. And then we have Mycosynth, we also have Fomori Vault, I guess. Since we have quite a few artifacts, we have Ghost Vacuum, Monument to Endurance. Fomori Vault works pretty well with it. And then we have Mycosynth Gardens. I saw Swayze play this with Monument to Endurance, and I was like, holy crap, that's genius. How did I not think of that? We're playing 1 copy of Ancient Vendetta because we can tutor it up with our Beseech the Mirror. And so if the opponent is playing a deck that's like structured strictly around 1 card, if we just Beseech the Mirror, grab Ancient Vendetta, and name that card, they just lose it. So it just gets ripped from their entire deck. So let's go ahead and give this a few tries and see if we can do all right. I feel like the problem with stream is that I don't get to pause through all the unexciting parts. You get to see me click into queue, sit here while I wait for my opponent. Alright, you go first. This hand seems fine if we draw into a land. Turn 3 Liliana is pretty good. We have a lot of removal. So if they're playing mono red, I think we'll get around it, but of course they're not playing mono red. We don't have our Ghost Vacuum in hand, so that's not good. It's not great to cut down the Rubble Belt Horde Maverick, but I think I'm just gonna do it to get it out of the way. I don't want them repeatedly hitting me with it. Wood Prowler, gonna fill up their graveyard. So the opponent might be playing. Okay, maybe the opponent is not playing the Beanstalk Golgari graveyard deck. Though we could try that. That might be a good thing to give a go. Speaking of which, we could ramp into we can name Beanstalk with Ancient Vendetta to get it out of their deck if they're playing it. Please don't play Beanstalk. No, I was just going to... okay, well, Liliana is useless in this situation, I think. But the next best thing we can do is keep the opponent from getting another Beanstalk. Oh, it autofills out? Well, yes, please type that in. No! I like how it shows the text, but if you press tab, it doesn't fill it in. Well, I feel like we kind of already lost because the opponent got Beanstalk down, and we have no way of getting rid of it. But we limited it to 1. So maybe we're okay, probably not, because the opponent's about to draw 3 cards kind of, because they cast Overlord and get back a card. And if I kill the Marauder, they can get it back eventually. Well, this is just cooked. I'm not playing this one through. And we have Liliana in hand. They have like 5 cards in hand. And we can't get rid of the like 4 power plus creatures. We're just going to die. I was really hopeful about this deck, but I'm starting to believe Mono Black Monument is not very good at all. But maybe I've just gotten a bit of bad luck. I don't know. I remember when I was playing against the when I was playing this deck last, I felt like I was drawing a billion lands. Lots and lots of lands and nothing to do. I think I'm gonna mulligan this hand. 1 land is probably not enough. Okay. I'll keep. Surely this will work out. Just need 1 swamp. 1 swamp, please. Alright, Collector's Vault is great because that fixes our mana, but it also is ways to trigger our monument. Please do not duress me. Whatever you do, don't duress. Unholy Annex, okay, that is okay. Scary, but we'll live. Drawing a land, still not happening. We made it happen. What Aether Drift cards are there left to brew around? Rimbobble. Wow. That looked painful. Maybe I hold on to activating Collector's Vault until next turn. I think we want to get Besiege down. We need to make another treasure token, but we're going to get that from the Collector's Vault. So I think we just start burning our opponent if we can. So we do need to find removal as well. We have sweepers, so that is something. Harvester of Misery won't kill anything relevant, I think, against this opponent, so we need to grab a sweeper if we can. Okay, that's not a sweeper. I could make another monument, and then I'm just gonna die. They have two of them. They're so quickly regaining their life. I kinda just want to make another monument. It's probably not the right thing to do, but seems like the most amount of fun. Don't think I need this many lands. Draw. Ooh. Hey, Liliana can fix this one demon, but not gonna fix the rest. Siege the mirror? Sieging the mirror for what? Please don't Ancient Vendetta. A Shieldred. That is problematic. That is very problematic. Because that means I'm pretty much dead on their turn. Sweeper or bust. Actually, Sweeper doesn't even save us. We need to... The game's just over. Gosh darn it. It's just crazy. Crazy, man. Yeah, we're just dead. Alright, maybe there's a way out. I'm beginning to believe. I don't know what I'm believing in, but have to be a straight miracle. Ancient meta is interesting. I need removal for their demon next turn. Yeah, I don't think there's a way out of this. If I had a 2-mana removal spell, maybe I could do this, but because next turn they just unlock their other annex and we die. Wow, these these non-creature permanents in standard are so crazy. I mean, they could just activate their Soulstone Sanctuary. There is one hope that they activate their Soulstone Sanctuary and then maybe we can get rid of it, but since they activated that, I don't think we can do it. Because I could have done like Harvester of Misery, draw, make a treasure. And if that was cut down, I could have gotten rid of the Soulstone Sanctuary, but annexed thing. Okay, well, I think we're putting the Mono Black Monument to rest. It's such a cool idea, but man, it's just I could not get it to work. Alright, next up on the agenda, we can get rid of the Midweek Magic event deck. What do we want to try out next? Oh, I have a deck that I was working on. We can try playing it. It is... I believe... Where are you? There's a Raise the Past deck, or Aristocrats deck that I put together. Is it this one? Surely it isn't. No, this is not it. Did I delete the deck? I don't think I did. It's white and black. I could have sworn I had. I love New Deck 47. My favorite. I gotta sit down one of these days and just get rid of things. There's a bunch of old decks that I want to like look at. I don't want to forget what they were, but yeah, maybe I accidentally deleted it while we were deleting decks there. Alright, well, other deck we were working on. I wanted to revisit Mossborn Hydra because one of the achievements for green in the color masteries here is go ahead and attack with a creature with 21 or greater power. And I figured a great way to do this is to play the Selesnya, well, play Mossborn Hydra. I'm putting it in Selesnya colors because then we can play Skrell, we can play Sheltered by Ghost. We can actually play another new card though in Bulwark Ox, which we can sacrifice this creature. Creatures you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So this works really well with the Mossborn Hydra as a way to protect it at really like kind of low cost. Or just like we play this turn 2, next turn we play Mossborn Hydra. The opponent can't remove it. We can put Ordeal of Nylea. We can get like a Bill counter maybe. So that is the idea with this deck, is that play Mossborn Hydra, go crazy with it. Besides that, do a little bit of Selesnya counters and see what happens. Oh my goodness. Also doesn't help they gave us a bunch of new extra decks. Gotta delete. Guess I gotta just delete those. Alright. We don't really have anything going on here. That seems problematic, but we have Mossborn Hydra, which is what we want to be doing, but we go first, so... Oh my goodness. We'll play Fabled Passage and then get Skrell. Opponent on River Pyre Verge. I can play... I'll play Skrell. The opponent goes to get rid of it. I can play Paw Patch. Well, I can play Paw Patch Recruit and then hold up Snakeskin. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just hold up Snakeskin Veil. Let's take this slow. His opponent probably is like an big Izzet deck maybe. So Snakeskin Veil gives it hexproof and a +1 counter, so they can't actually get their spell to resolve. Torching. Alright, we got 2 removal spells out of them on that, which is nice. The opponent appears to be a Jeskai colored deck, which is concerning, because that means they could be playing our favorite Jeskai Monument control, and that would be pretty rough, I think. You need to kind of sneak through their defenses. Yep, okay, it's Jeskai Monument. That's kind of funny. Opponent, you cannot use that ancient sorcery against me. I was there when it was written. Alright. That's pretty good, but if they have like Day of Judgment or a Temporary Lockdown, so they're probably not playing Temporary Lockdown, I would guess, just because I feel like Temporary Lockdown interacts very poorly with the artist talent. Up to 30, down to 8. Do they have the Sunfall? They might have targeted removal that they can now get to, but that means we're gonna get 3 counters if they get rid of Bill. Opponent does not find the sweeper and scoops it up. Also, they were stuck on no blue mana, so they couldn't cast Ill-Timed Explosion. A little rough for opponent there, but we didn't get our massive creature though, so we have to keep playing. Keep playing until we get the achievement. I've definitely made a large enough creature, but it is a little frustrating that the achievements, they obviously don't check when you're playing before they came out. Alright, we can do Hydra. Play Bill. Alright. I think we can set up the thing. super exciting. Oh, opponent's on elves. You tried, opponent. You tried. Haha. Osborne Hydra. I played this out the right way, but I don't have any green mana open, which is actually kind of annoying. Because I was planning to have green mana open to Snakeskin Veil the Hydra. But it's okay. Alright, here's the real tech. I saw Legend BD do this. Using Ordeal of Nylea on Mossborn Hydra makes it go crazy. Opponent, a little bit of a slow start in L's, but still some of the best cards that you could have, best cards you could have gotten. Make sure you have order triggers on, or yeah, you don't have auto order triggers on so that you can go ahead and order your triggers so that you get your Mossborn Hydra triggers at the right time. Ordeal of Nylea makes us tutor up 2 lands. This will trigger Mossborn Hydra twice, doubling and doubling it, and that should be very, 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 very lethal. That's 60. And that is how you one-shot with Mossborn Hydra. Not the fastest one that you could do, but I mean, we had the crazy draw. We could have ran it out turn 3, but I was kind of worried that our opponent was going to play removal, but we didn't realize they were playing mono green elves. I don't think that gave us our achievement though, because we didn't attack when it had, when it was attacking, it didn't attack with 21 power. It gained, or went up to 21 power. We're gonna have to keep playing. It's gonna be a challenge, but we'll make it happen. When cards are stacked together on them. I've never read most of those tips. I feel like I just zone out while I wait. Alright, somehow we got the nut draw again. Llanowar Elves into Mossborn Hydra. Surely they do not have removal. Okay, I'm scared. I think they have removal. Love the art for this card. I just wish it didn't start as a 1/1. Though I understand why it starts as a 1/1, because it is it gets so big so fast. Here, take 2. No. No! 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 I shouldn't. This is tragic. Opponent playing Cathar Commando just absolutely destroyed my soul. How could you, opponent? That is unbelievable. They're gonna put it on the elf, because the elf should mostly stay out of combat. They're going in this turn, but nice thing with Bulwark Ox plus Sheltered by Ghosts is you can make it pretty much, if you can get a turn, you can make it pretty much impossible to get rid of the Sheltered by Ghost. Opponent will demonstrate how it is possible though. Take 3. They probably should just jump block. Nope. Takes it. Interesting. Split up is pretty annoying, but it looks like our opponent is on some Is It Flash deck. They're playing Enduring Innocence for card draw. Very mastermind. Alright. I have 1 mana open, which is a little concerning, and we're gonna draw all of our lands. Opponent, do you have the smite? Trade. Opponent doesn't want to trade, which is good for us. Opponent, I'm trying to take a sip of water. Ah, haha. Alright, another Fairy Mastermind. I wonder if they're playing the spell stutter counter spell. I think I'm gonna get bored playing that many lands in a row. Alright, we just need to get a Hydra and get it to stick onto the battlefield, and then we can get 21 power. And one thing I have to try is Selesnya artifact creatures with the Teething Wormlet and the Gear Hulk. I feel like that would be another interesting kind of Selesnya deck. This is an interesting set of cards. Go ahead and keep it. Elves means that we can play Dusk Legion Duelist and a Might, maybe. We do need to name one of these creature types. Or we can play a Brushland. Opponent on Gruul, so they might be on Dinos, which is a little concerning, but Skrelv is good for that then. Ox Mount. I feel like I'm gonna have to name one of these creature types. Opponent is Naya, so maybe they are Naya elves. I've seen some people trying to play Vogia on Untapped. Naya Vogia elves, so maybe that's what our opponent is up to. Do you have a response? Ayasaka. Ayasaka. Alright, Dusk Legion Duelist. Gets the Ordeal of Nylea, so that when it attacks in, it goes ahead and gets a counter, and that draws me a card. What we call Synergy. And now we can make it indestructible with Bulwark Ox, or we can protect it with Skrelv. Drew another Cavern, which is not good. But Cavern or Snakeskin Veil can actually draw us a card with Dusk Legion Duelist. This is a pretty cool counters deck. Opponent. Naya Mounts or Survival, I guess. Mossborn Hydra. That is the thing. I will play Snakeskin Veil on it, so it gets a counter, and then I'll play this on Hydra to assert dominance, and then it doubles up the counters. I was gonna saddle Bulwark Ox and go in with it, but I think I'm just gonna do this. The counter, a card. Opponent trades. I have made a mistake. I've made a big mistake. Alright. We need to actually protect this. That's a bit of an oops. But next turn we can pop our Dusk Legion Duelist Ordeal of Nylea, which has already drawn us 2 cards. It's about to give us 2 lands and 1 more card, so that's pretty good. I probably blew all of my protection in the least optimal way possible, but the opponent just concedes. Alright. Staring down the Hydra, had no response. I guess we win. Again, we're trying to get to 21 power before we attack, but seems to be a bit challenging. I believe we can do it. I think you can do some of the color achievements against Sparky, is what I heard. Not entirely sure how accurate that is, but maybe we'll resort to that eventually. I can do that on my own time, but it might be a little bit hard to get a creature to 21 power before we attack in standard here. Snarling Gorehound, so we know what our opponent is up to, which is concerning. They're definitely trying to milk cards. They might be an Aristocrats version of Raise the Past, or they're just a regular old Raise the Past with the bats. Looks like they're probably regular old Raise the Past would be my guess, but I'm not sure. The reason these decks play Split Skin Doll is because Split Skin Doll is an artifact creature, and so you can play the card that has that 2-mana tutor that has Delirium. Alright, well, opponent's probably gonna do a lot of chump blocking, which is unfortunate. I could have sheltered by Ghost the Snarling Gorehound, but I'm gonna crack the Fabled Passage on their turn so I get another Bristly Bill trigger. We can get rid of their Amalia next turn. Gotta get a green source here, I think. We're almost out of basics because we managed to draw all of them, but we'll make something work. Probably gonna get rid of this Amalia with Sheltered by Ghost. That should hopefully gain us a bunch of life over the course of turns, and we can protect our Sheltered by Ghost using Bulwark Ox, which is nice. Bulwark Ox just seems so synergistic in the deck. Get rid of Amalia. Yeah, I'll pay 3 life because I'm about to gain 6. And then they don't get all those Surveil triggers. They can't get rid of our Dusk Legion Duelist because we can sack Bulwark Ox. And then we can play Fabled Passage and continue drawing cards. I'm actually kind of baffled with how well this deck is going. The opponent might just have Raise the Past. Be kind of annoying, but we can get Skrelv down next turn so that we'll be able to kind of attack past whatever they choose to do. It's not that many creatures, so you can also play out a Bulwark Ox just to give Dusk Legion Duelist some indestructibility. Opponent probably has another Raise the Past, or figures they can get to another Raise the Past, which is kind of annoying because it means all of these creatures can just sit here and jump block. All right. I will play a Fabled Passage, trigger Dusk Legion Duelist, and draw. What do we got? Elves is not what I wanted. Alright, I'll go ahead and attack. Opponent is probably going to block with their Pilgrim, I would think. But maybe not. If they do, we sacrifice the Ox. Then we play another Ox so we can keep up the indestructibility and hexproof. Okay. We don't need to blow up our Bulwark Ox, so we're okay. We do lose a little bit of life, but we also gain a bunch of life. Play Bulwark Ox and 12. So now they won't be able to keep on blocking it. We can crack Fabled Passage. No, there's no way they hit 3 Gorehounds. This is really bad. Because it means they can get to Raise the Past. Or they can filter a lot of cards off the top of their deck. Alright. That's problematic as well, because that's going to start getting quite big, but we can make our Dusk Legion Duelist unblockable. Dewdrop here is pretty much the same thing, unfortunately. Alright, well, we have the upside of that. With Bill, we can start doubling up our Duelist power as well, or doubling up the number of counters on our, yeah, our Duelist. Please, draw me into something good. Ordeal of Nylea is nice. Alright, we have enough mana to do this. We're gonna do all of the ramping. I will pay life. Make this unblockable to black because all their creatures have black. We will swing in. And then when they don't block, because they can't, we will grab our last two basics. We've gone through them all. I will then pump up it to... Okay, that actually worked out so well. They're down to 4. We're up to 47. Oh my goodness. That was crazy. Surely we don't lose from here. That was insane. Okay, this is my new favorite. Opponent draws as a card, gets like a billion triggers. Arena, no. I think we'll still have lethal. That's the hope. Starscape Cleric is scary, but I think we have to click through all of these triggers. I don't think that's enough triggers to make Amalia go nuclear. Even if Amalia goes nuclear, we can give our creatures indestructible. But, okay, opponent wants that card on top. So it's another Dewdrop here? Or is it Raise the Past? Another Dewdrop here is pretty rough. Oh no. Oh no. Well, we'll get our trigger, but we're gonna lose the game because Raise the Past, baby. Oh my goodness. And this card is in Foundations. We are stuck with this pile of triggers for 5 years. One has 5 more triggers to go through with Amalia, and then they can try and blow up the entire board. Okay, they do not get to it. We have Bulwark Ox, though. Huge. We gotta be a little bit careful how we do this. Put a counter on this, protect it. And then I have enough mana to play out something else, but I don't think I will. I guess I could play out Bulwark Ox. Might as well swing in with Dusk Legion Duelist. I think there's pretty much no reason not to. Even if the opponent blocks with Alas El Core, we should be fine. Because we can sacrifice an Ox. Oh my god. That is hilarious. Okay. It will no longer die. Amalia, you will die. And then we gotta be a little bit selective in terms of what colors we destroy. Like colored creatures we destroy so that we can maybe get value out of Skrull. So the opponent has raised the pass, so it doesn't really matter. It just means that we might actually be able to... Wait, do we have lethal for all of them? Wait a minute. I'm ordering things that don't need to be ordered. I just assumed that naturally our creature was not big enough to kill their entire board. Sure, opponent. Hit us with your best shot. They're probably going to kill us next turn because they can drain like 100 life, but it was really funny while it lasted. It was funny while it lasted. We also have a very nice life total. Okay. That, and then raise the pass. Well, we're going to be here a while. But we definitely got the achievement for swinging with a big creature. Okay, we're not dead. Knock on wood. I don't think we're dead. Because they only have one. Sure, they could blow up all their creatures and end up with an Amalia, but we can give all of our creatures with counters indestructible. So we actually want this Amalia to pop. I think. I don't think the Elastil Core would kill us then. Opponent goes up a bunch of life, but we get to give all our creatures with counters indestructible. And then we can make our... I think we have lethal. Of course, I'm probably wrong, but I think. This Sheltered by Ghost has done so much work in keeping us in this game. Zamalia is gonna explode, I think. And I don't think they gain enough life to stop the duelist. Because we can play build, play land, target Mossborn, double up our counters. Whoa. Huh? Why was I not allowed to? What? I want a... I could have... What? Did I click resolve all and it normally it like... What? I lost to boredom. That's actually so sad. I could have won that if I just was paying enough attention. That's so sad. Oh man, that's insane. That's insane. I had a creature that gave all of my creatures indestructible and I didn't get a chance to activate it in response to the Amalia exploding the entire board. Now I'm just sad. Now I'm sad. Well, no bigger than that. Fighting and biting. Touch of death. Okay. We could play Golgari Toxic, and that works really well with both of these. I just need to grab my deck from Moxfield. We're just achievement hunting at this point. Where is it? Oh, I don't. Do I not have it? No, I don't. Alright, so it's not on Moxfield. I have to go to... No. Oh. Alright, well. We just might have to make it ourselves right now. I don't want to go searching through Aether Hub. It's too much work, and I'm not logged into Aether Hub, so I can't look at my own decks. So, Golgari. Oh! We can do, Obliterator. How do you spell? Golgari Obliterator. Because we now have more, dual lands that work. We got the Verges. Play 2 Cottage, I guess. And we play Bushwhack. Alright. Actually, there might be a deck on Untapped that we can reference. No. My Untapped is not working at this particular second. Alright, Obliterator. Alright. So it looks like pretty much standard Golgari. Besides Bushwhack, he can play less lands. We don't want to be playing any forests. We're playing a full playset of cottages. Do we play a full playset of cottages? I don't really like doing that, particularly in best of 1 standard. What can we play to make this better? I mean, do like the duress. I'm not sure if that's actually my favorite duress art. Play 3 copies of duress. And then this deck does not have particularly good win rate, it seems, on Untapped. I think a lot of people just tried out the list that was played at the Pro Tour. Alright, Cut Down. Do you think Cut Down's good? Anoint. There we go. Culling. How much removal do we play? We need ways to gain life, though, I think. Sure, we want to set up the combo and do the combo, but... Oh, that's a good one. Ooze. Play, like, 3 copies of Ooze, maybe. And then... Breacher... I'm looking at the lists and they playing Sentinel. I don't ever play this card, but it was really hyped up when it came out, Mosswood Dread Knight. We'll try it out. I think we should probably play Liliana, even if it's just a copy, maybe, or maybe not. What we do probably want is Gix's command. This is like a sort of sweeper. That's our way of gaining life, I guess, as well as scavenging ooze. We got a lot of removal. Is anoint what we want? I don't know. Alright, what do we put in as our last? Last extra bit. Oh, something with Death Touch. Oh, we have Creature. Oh, children. Why not? You know? And then... oh, Lissa. Alright, this is probably not very good, but... we'll give a little bit of the old Golgari Obliterator Fight Club a go. We're not really playing much green. I probably could have played more green. Actually, we are playing quite a bit. Playing Bushwhack, we're playing Sentinel, we're playing Mosswood Dread Knight, we're playing Scavenging Ooze. Alright, turn 1 Duress. That seems pretty good, especially if the opponent trying to play some non-creature, non-lands. Bushwhack can grab us another swamp so that we can cast Obliterator when we get it. Is my internet not working, or is the opponent not here? We will find out shortly. Alright. Opponent. After all that deliberation, let me show you my card. Oh, ooh, brother, ooh. I have a special hatred for Kaido. Don't ask. Opportunistic Scavenger. I think I'll just kill that. Opponent thinks they're going to keep their Scavenger, and when they least suspect it, we're going to go for a throat. Opponent hasn't drawn their blue mana. Probably get rid of our other go for the throat. They don't have a ton of creatures. Ooh, never a good place to be. Bushwhacking for a swamp and not being able to play a creature or a card. That was ugly. Pixie? Don't tell me you just drew Pixie. Okay, no. One just has lands. Hopeless Nightmare sacrificing, I guess it is. Okay, I think I'm gonna do that because that seems pretty nice to get rid of the talent. I can't cast it, but then we'll run out of ooze, which you can start eating up relevant cards out of their graveyard potentially. Maybe I should have held on to that duress, but I figure if they draw anything good at this point, they're just gonna use it. I forgot about the nowhere to run, but if they don't sacrifice their Hopeless Nightmare, they are tripping. It's gotta be the right thing. Okay, that was... I don't know what... that, that had to be a mistake. There was option 1, nowhere to run Scavenging Ooze. Option 2, sacrifice Hopeless Nightmare for 3 mana. There was a third option that you could choose, that the opponent ended up choosing, I guess, which was do nothing. Which, a little awkward. Opponent, no blue mana, so hopefully they're staring at a bunch of blue cards. And boom. Alright. Pile of removal works. Sort of. Opponent got mana screwed. And we kind of... Actually, our duress... Both our duresses had next to 0 impact because they didn't ever draw mana that would have allowed them to cast the spells that we made them discard. But I think they were still probably the right picks. Alright. This spear on the play. I think I have to cut down now. Because if they have, like... They have more spells, they can get it out of cut down range, which is bad for us. This is dangerous business. There's Obliterator. So we just need to stop drawing Llanowar Waste and we'll be good. That's not a Llanowar Waste. We are okay. We'll grab our swamp for Obliterator. And then we will go for the throat, the Nemesis. I guess they could do it in response. That was a reason to do it on their turn, to stop them from stopping us from gaining life. This is awkward. Well, I will get rid of this, and the opponent will shock it. And then I will... No, they didn't do it. Okay, we're cool. Opponent is cool. Manifold Mouse. Okay, not feeling as cool, but... Hold up, cut down. I'm gonna try for the cut down sneak. I could have ran out Obliterator, but I think the opponent would have just tried to stop it. Activating the village, eh? Alright, we will wait until the opponent targets the 2/1 with their abilities, or a ability, and then we will blow it up. Ah, you wasted one of your triggers. It doesn't matter that much, to be honest, now that I think about it a little bit more. Don't think about it. Now what, opponent? That's 5. 5 power and toughness for 4 mana. And it has trample. Don't read. Do not read the card. It doesn't do anything besides that. It doesn't make you sacrifice things. It is just a creature that you want to trample over with as much damage as possible. Where's that monstrous rage, huh? No way, we actually just... What? The opponent gave up. We were down to 9. Oh my god. Alright, that put a smile on my face. That was good. Nothing quite like seeing mono red just submit to the will of the Obliterator. They just give up. Alright. This hand seems alright. Duress. Turn 1 is always a fun keep. Well, it's always a reasonable keep. Maybe fun is a hard way of putting. Oh my god. Ah. Stop. I think we're dead. I think we're dead. Alright, Dread Knight. Do something. Use that massive axe of yours. It's such a cool art. Aha, we have Preacher. But you're just gonna play land and blow up my Preacher, and I'm gonna cry. Alright. Everyone, cross your fingers, no monstrous rage. Aha! We only take 3, but we can never gain life again. Which, why would I ever want to gain life? When I'm at 7. There's no reason I would want to gain life. We got Bushwhack. We have the combo. Opponent. I will block. I will do it. Oh, no, no, opponent. There's no getting out of this. There's no taking it easy. There's only Obliterator. Alright, we're gonna wait a turn. I don't want to fight that, actually. Taking 5 doesn't seem the best for us. Okay, interesting. Red Knight seems good. I will hold back. I think as long as we don't swing in with Obliterator, we have the opponent kind of on lock. There's no way they hit 3 Witch Hawk Frenzy. What? Okay, well, I found the secret to beating mono red. It was just Obliterator all along. That's crazy. I don't think you always win with Obliterator, but it is so funny. Alright, we're gonna see if we can find another mono red player to test our skills against. Test our deck against. 3-0 with Obliterator. 2 of those games being red. And we were on the draw against both of those red decks. What the heck? Okay. Opponent goes first. We have so many lands. Hopefully we'll draw into more removal or something. Golgari Graveyard or Roots? What are you up to, opponent? I am curious. I play the Ooze. In nature, not a single bone or scrap of flesh goes to waste. That's kind of rude, opponent. Play the preacher so we can start drawing cards. Maybe a sentinel next turn though. We can use the maps. Alright, good thing we have two of those. What? Just opponent saw the creature and was Thanos snap. Gone. Gone for good. If you end it again, I'm going to get pretty sad. I'm going to be sad. I don't think I need to rest. Opponent has one card in hand, and if it's removal, they're gonna fire it off. So, is it a cottage game? You're playing cottage. Is your win con? Honestly, I've seen Golgari decks just win with cottage. It is a real thing. Virtue of persistence. Intriguing strategy, friend. Take 4. What the heck? Where are my lands? I'll just play Dread Knight. I don't like the fact I'm not holding up a Go for the Throat because I'm scared of what's going to happen, but his opponent's deck just removal. Removal and Restless Cottage. Intriguing. I mean, who can play at that game? Probably going to go in with Cottage, aren't you? Cottage is gone. Bye-bye. And now you're down a land, so you can't cast your Virtue. You should have expected that, opponent. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little foolish. Another cottage. Obliterator. Let's go. Need to get lands though, is my problem. Alright, there we go. Land. Cut down doesn't seem very useful against a deck that's not playing lots of creatures. So get rid of that. And another land. Alright, we are in a good spot. I'm gonna hold on to pretty much everything here just so that we can go ahead and bushwhack whatever they go for. Yeah, it's intriguing. It's dead. Welcome to Golgari. Good game. We even have the ooze that start exiling graveyards. It was over. Wow, that was just actually straight Golgari mid-range that we played. It was against another Golgari deck, so we did alright. I've been surprised by how Golgari mid-range though, in terms of like, if you look at tournaments, it doesn't show up in them that much anymore. Alright, we'll go with one more run on our Golgari Obliterator Fight Club deck and see if we can get the combo off. So far all we've done is play Obliterator against mono red and watch them just keel over. It was kind of funny though. Now this hand blows. We don't have any 2-drops or really 1-drops that we want to cast, and we're against goblins. No. I honestly think it might be worth adding Malicious Eclipse as like a 1 or 2 of, so that hands where you have like slow draws like this, you don't just get completely ran over. Drop a Scooze for a Malicious Eclipse or something. I don't know, there needs to be a better 3-mana black sweeper. I feel like we used to have Path of Peril, but Rest in peace, Path in Peril. Or Path of Peril. I think it's honestly better to go for the throw at the Seer Slicer Goblin. Because then they don't get the trigger for the Seer Slicer Goblin at the end of their turn, every single turn. Okay, they didn't have the land. Okay. We are safe for a turn. Obliterator, get in there. This is also a really bad matchup because the opponent has so much stuff to sacrifice. So much. Alright. Bushwhack off the top. Bushwhack off the top. Please, Magic. The Magic Deity, give me it. No. Alright, we'll just play more walls. No. We're gonna lose the Cranko. We're about to get cranked. Alright. Misplay opportunity. It's all yours, opponent. What are you gonna do? Ah, oh, they took it. What? No. Okay, good. Alright. We have only a small problem. Minor at best problem. Not huge. It's pretty simple. Nothing bad's happening. Everything's gonna be fine. What are we worried about? Wait, I died. I was like, why did the screen? I've gotten used to Magic, like the screen changes slightly when the game determines that you've lost or whatever, and I was like, wait, I'm dead? How am I dead? I don't know what changes about the screen, but I can just tell at a certain point when the game's like, yep, you're dead. Alright, well, that was an interesting stream. We got to play some, well, we discovered that Mono Black Monument is not as good as I would have hoped. I just could not make this work. I was getting ran over left and right. It seems like it would be highly synergistic, but I just could not get to the point where it would go through. And then Celestia counters actually blew me away with how good it was. I don't think this deck is like anywhere close to tier 1. I think it's probably like a tier 2.5 deck at best, but Skrelv protecting your stuff, as well as Bulwark Ox protecting your creatures with +1 counters, and then you have +1 counter payoffs in terms of Mossborn Hydra, Bristly Bill, and Dusk Legion Duelist. Ordeal of Nylea plus Mossborn Hydra means that your Hydra just gets absolutely massive, and you can one-shot people. Sheltered by Ghost, obviously really good removal, but then if the opponent can get through the ward, it's problematic. But what if your ward could become hexproof if you sacrifice your Ox? So it makes Sheltered by Ghost even better. And we have Snakeskin's Veil, which can target the Hydra to get additional counters, give hexproof, and it also can target the Dust Legion Duelist and draws cards, which is cool. And yeah, so really impressed with that deck. And then also we were looking to try and work towards the achievement for like fighting and biting. So we tried out Golgari Obliterator Fight Club, and this was pretty impressive. Just in the sense that we were able to shut down quite a few mono red decks when I would have expected a little bit more resistance. Our opponents just gave up. So if you can get Obliterator down against mono red, it's actually better than I thought. So yeah, I don't think this is the exact list. I would probably change it up a little bit, but pretty close to pretty good Golgari Obliterator Fight Club deck. So yeah, that is going to be the stream today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Take care of yourself.